Hey, welcome back to another how-to on the Espresso Outlet YouTube channel. So the DF64 Gen 2, as you may have seen online, some of these buttons are just really having an issue. It just really seems hit or miss on if you get one that has this issue or not. A lot of times what will happen is you'll click it and it won't stay clicked in. We did a video earlier on how to switch them, but the latest version of the buttons, they're a little bit different. So on the previous video, I showed you how you could pull the wires off, and it was a pretty easy swap of the buttons. But today, since these are soldered on, we're going to have to replace the little wire nuts inside. So yours may have the crimp style that comes with it, or it may have these screw caps. Today I'm using these screw caps because that's what I have handy, but yours should come with one or the other. So you might need like a Phillips head screwdriver to take the bottom off, and I do recommend probably like some pliers or needle nose pliers to just uncrimp those other plastic crimps. So to get started, we're just going to pull off everything. We don't want anything just falling and getting damaged as we work on this grinder. If you do have like a pad or like a towel or something, you may want to place it on its side and protect the grinder body. Also, very important before doing this, make sure that your grinder is unplugged. So if you've purchased one of these DF64 Gen 2s from us at Espresso Outlet, it has one of these white buttons, and you're having issues with it, feel free to send us an email and we'll get you taken care of. So if this is something that you think you can handle, it's a pretty easy swap. Should take less than 5 minutes for most people, but we do understand there are people that aren't comfortable doing it. So we're going to get this set up and start opening up the grinder. Okay, so to begin with, there are 2 Phillips head screws in the bottom. You just need to take them out. Next, I recommend placing the grinder on its side. If you have a big microfiber cloth or maybe like a bathroom towel, that's usually best, just so that you don't scratch up your grinder. And I personally kind of like to use 2 towels so that it doesn't scratch the back of your grinder as you open this up. So I'm going to grab a second towel right here. We're just going to kind of tuck it behind. Okay, so previously what we would do is we would just pull these little wire leads off and replace the button. But since the new button, it comes with the leads soldered on, we're going to have to dig a little bit deeper. Now you might be able to get it with some scissors. I have some little wire cutters right here. We're going to clip this zip tie to gain access to these wires a little bit more freely. And what I like to do is just do one at a time, but for now, we're going to take the old button out. So there is our old button. And if yours does not come with a nut, the nut from the previous one does actually fit on. You do kind of have to push past these terminals, but it will slide on. If yours comes with a new nut, use the new nut. If not, the old one should work properly. Now, before we do any of the wiring, we'll want to install this new button and tighten the nut down. Sorry that my hands are in the way. It's hard to show you really well up close. We're going to snug that down. New metal button just looks really nice. Next, we're going to find, we have a blue wire and a red wire from our old button, and we have a blue wire and a red wire on the new button. And what we're going to do is we're going to use some sort of pliers to squish this so that we can take off this old wire nut. So we can discard this blue wire and grab our new blue wire. And we can twist all these wires together real quick. So if your kit comes with these, You'll use some sort of a plier to squish the metal on the inside. If yours comes with the screw caps, this is kind of like screwing on like a toothpaste tube. You just kind of screw them into place. When they get tight, that's all you need to do. Next, we're going to do the same with this red. It's not necessary, but if you have a zip tie handy, it's kind of nice to zip tie and clean everything up inside your grinder. Then we will go ahead and screw the base back on. Something I mentioned in the last video, you can see there's actually a little notch in the front, probably hard to see, and there's a little keyway on your lid. If for whatever reason your grinder looks crooked when you're done, that's what I would recommend checking, as that does keep the front of the grinder aligned. And then we will put our Phillips head screws back in and tighten them down. Don't over tighten, you might strip out some of the metal. Now just put all your accessories back on. Probably a good time to do a quick clean of your grinder. Vacuum is probably the best, and let's give it a try. As good as new. So again, if you purchased one of these DF64 Gen 2s from Espresso Outlet, and it came with one of these white buttons and you're having issues with it, you can feel free to reach out to us. We'll provide you with this video, and we'll also provide you a link to get an updated button. But that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Let us know if you have any questions.